Now, of course, you guys know the NBA season is back, and that means the Atlanta Hawks videos are also back. Yes, the Atlanta Hawks videos are finally back here. I know you guys were all like, where'd the Atlanta Hawks videos go? What's happening to the Atlanta Hawks videos? Well, what happened was the NBA season ended and the NFL season began. And as you can see by the recent influx of NFL videos, I was more focused on that. However, basketball videos are back, and we're going to start off the season strong with the Atlanta Hawks preseason preview. Now, of course, before I get right into this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, of course, the Atlanta Hawks have a lot of things that went on during the preseason and the offseason. Now, I need to talk you through the new contracts. Trae Young, of course, got a max extension. Same with John Collins. Kevin Huerter actually got an extension today, extension on his rookie deal, so he's going to be here for a pretty long time. Of course, Lou Williams was also re-signed, which I think is a great signing. I think he served amazingly as a big man in his hometown again. I'm really excited about Lou Williams being re-signed. He provided a lot of sparks for us that not any other player in probably the entire league could provide a team off the bench. Solo re-signed. Of course, he is the veteran. He's the defender. Of course, Sharife Cooper did sign a two-way rookie contract. Of course, a two-way rookie contract means he will play both in the NBA and possibly in the G League. So watch out for Sharife Cooper. Dude might be tearing it up in the G League and in the NBA at the same time. Now, of course, we have to go down to the last rookie, Jalen Johnson. He signed a rookie contract. He will be with the team full-time. I see nothing that suggests a two-way deal, so it looks like Jalen Johnson will be on the roster of, the roster. He won't be switching between the G League and, of course, the NBA. Now, of course, we have to go through our new players. Jalen Johnson is the first guy. I needed to talk about him first. He is the Atlanta Hawks' first overall pick. Of course, I believe he was picked 20th in the draft. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jalen Johnson is an absolute freak of an athlete. At Duke, this guy absolutely impressed me. Now, he did play a limited amount of games, of course, due to the COVID-19 situation going on. He didn't want anything to do with that. So Jalen Johnson, I think he will be a very good addition to this Hawks team. I think he will provide a small spark. I don't know if he'll play a huge role in the team this season, given the fact that our starting lineup is pretty much set for most of the year. It doesn't look like Jalen Johnson, at least going off the fact that no one gets injured, it doesn't look like he'll get a lot of playing time. However, I believe Jalen Johnson will be and will develop into at least a freakish athlete on the NBA court. Now, of course, going to the next new player, we have Sharife Cooper, the other rookie selected in the second round and surprisingly slipped all the way down to us in the second round. Sharife Cooper, he was predicted by some to be a first-round pick. I think he is a first-round talent. Him and Trae Young, little fun fact of the day, are the only college guards to average at least 20 points and 8 assists in a season. Yes, those guys are on the same team now. Now, Sharife Cooper does have a two-way contract. Of course, one of those is with the G League team, and another one is with the NBA team, so it is a two-way. He will be switching it around. Sharife Cooper, I look forward to seeing him tearing it up in the G League, and also quite possibly in a little while tearing it up in the NBA. Now, our next new addition is Gorgui Dieng. Now, Gorgui Dieng is a very, very solid big man. Now, Atlanta did need a guy to come off the bench and replace Clint Capella, and I feel like Gorgui Dieng does do that very, very well. I do like him coming off the bench. I think he does provide not only a spark, but provide some physicality. I think Atlanta was missing that a little bit this year, and of course, Onyeka Okongwu and him can sort of switch roles at that position. I believe both of those are kind of stronger and kind of, I'd say, bring another skill set to the table other than Clint Capella's skill set. I know Capella is big, but let's face it, he's more of a slimmer big rather than Gorgui Dieng and, of course, Onyeka Okongwu, who are more bulky. Guys who can really go up and guard the Joel Embiids, go up and guard the Bam Adebayos, go up and guard those guys, not for entirety of games, but really for stints at a time. When they get hot, these guys can calm those stars down a little bit down in the post. Now, our next guy is Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot. Now, of course, I think this is a very good addition. I think Timothy is a very, very great player. However, he will most likely be a bench player. He'll probably be I don't want to say a bench warmer because that low-key sounds disrespectful to an NBA talent. However, that's kind of what he'll be. He does provide great shooting off the bench. I do think he could possibly, if somebody maybe gets injured or maybe if he works his way up in the rotation, I do think he could possibly come off the bench and provide some very, very good point production and shooting for us. However, I don't expect him to get too much playing time this season. Of course, going off the standpoint that nobody gets injured this year, which, now that I think about it, it's a pretty low chance. So Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot will probably get some playing time at some point in the season, but I wouldn't expect a lot from him. Now, of course, the last new player is DeLon Wright, our newest backup point guard. I really love this signing for Atlanta. DeLon Wright is a 10-point per game scorer. He can shoot the three. He can drive to the basket. He can even pass the ball a little bit. He's basically the perfect backup point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. I'm really, really glad that they got this guy for Trae Young to sort of go on the bench. Now, I did go to an Atlanta Hawks preseason game. I'll pull up a picture right up here for you guys, the pictures I took from the game. The stadium is marvelous. I really think it is. This is my first time being to the updated stadium. However, getting back on topic, it looked really good. Trae Young had an amazing game. He had 25 and 17, 29 and 17, something like that. Trae Young had an insane game. He looks right on par with Clint Capella and John Collins. John Collins had a great block that game. That whole starting lineup looks really, really good. I like the lineup where they ran both, of course, DeAndre Hunter, and also they ran Cam Reddish in the same lineup. I really did like that lineup. However, I don't think that will be the starting lineup. I do believe Bogey will start. His shot was pretty much on for most of the game in that preseason game. So the Atlanta Hawks look like a very, very good basketball team is basically what I'm trying to tell you. DeLon Wright looked really, really good in the small amount of minutes he played. You won't expect him, and I don't think you should expect him to play more than 20 minutes a game. He'll just come in when Trae's not in, and of course, Trae's trying to get a breather, or come in when it's some garbage time minutes and stuff like that. I wouldn't expect too much from DeLon Wright when it comes from a minute standpoint. However, I do think he will be a solid, and I mean a solid, great backup point guard for this Atlanta Hawks team. Now, of course, we're going to go down to Atlanta Hawks and their schedule. Now, I scheduled the first 5 games to give you sort of a standpoint and sort of a place where I think the Atlanta Hawks could possibly start and how good or bad they could start this season. Now, for the first 5 games, I have the Dallas Mavericks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Washington Wizards. Now, I expect the Atlanta Hawks at minimum to start the season 4-1. I know this is a high expectation. However, Cleveland, Detroit, Zion Williamless, New Orleans, if you would, and a Washington team, I don't really know if those guys are capable of competing with us. I know Dallas will be a challenge because Luka Doncic, and of course, they have Kristaps Porzingis, 2 European bosses. I mean, those guys are absolutely insane. So Dallas will be a challenge. Of course, they have a lot of shooters. The most relevant shooter being Tim Hardaway Jr. However, those guys right there, I think Dallas will be a challenge. However, Cleveland, I don't think they'll pose us too much of a challenge. Detroit, they're rebuilding. New Orleans, they have no Zion Williamson, and they're rebuilding. The Washington Wizards lost Russell Westbrook, and they look like they're in for a rebuild. So I think the Atlanta Hawks should start off this season good. Now, going into last year's rankings, the Atlanta Hawks last year ranked 13th in scoring and 12th in defense. I actually expect them to improve. I think the Atlanta Hawks will be a better scoring team this year. Of course, given the fact and coming from the standpoint that nobody gets injured, I think the Atlanta Hawks will be a better team this year. I think they have a year under their belt, under their new head coach, Nate McMillan. I also think that their defense will get better. Of course, given the fact that more people are going to be healthy this season, you have a better defensive standpoint for the Atlanta Hawks this year. They got a guard that can really play defense. Of course, Chris Dunn didn't really work out too well, so they got DeLon Wright, who can play some quality defense at the backup guard position, while Trae Young's defense is not the strongest. Of course, you have some of your key defenders back. Cam Reddish will be back for a full season. Of course, DeAndre Hunter is now finally healthy and will be back for a full season. And you have those guys scoring. Of course, Cam Reddish can be a great scorer off the bench, as we all know. DeLon Wright, all those guys. So I expect our rankings to go up, not only because of our starters, and they're now more comfortable with each other, to say the least, but also because of our bench. I feel like our bench made a dramatic improvement. I mean, you can't forget to mention Lou Williams, who is one of the best bench scorers, not only in the league, but of all time. Now, for my Atlanta Hawks record prediction, I have them going 51-31. I think they will finish 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Now, I don't think the Hawks are better than either the Nets or the Bucks. However, I do think they're slightly better than the 76ers, especially given the fact that the Sixers have some situations, to say the least, going on with Ben Simmons and, of course, Joel Embiid and all those guys. I think the Atlanta Hawks, I don't think they will just be high in the conference because of their talent. While I do think they have a lot of talent, I think the Atlanta Hawks and their team chemistry is most important when it comes to being high in the conference. I think the Atlanta Hawks are a great basketball team. I think they are very, very loose. I think they are very fun to watch. I think Trae Young is now more he's used to his new pieces now. He's used to having John Collins. He's used to having Clint Capella as a lob option. He's used to having those guys now. And now I think that team chemistry will really take a step forward this season, especially with the new and, of course, cemented head coaching role with Nate McMillan. I think the Atlanta Hawks will take a big leap this season. I ultimately will think they will at least reach the Eastern Conference Finals. But, of course, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. Help me out a little bit. But, of course, I have TikTok, Spotify, Instagram. All those links will be in the description. But most importantly, utmost importantly, I need you to stay loved and stay blessed. And without further ado, I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching.